Hi, folks. Can anybody hear me? Hey, Dave, how you doing? 12 likes already. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay. I'm going to assume everything's going okay. Hey, that's great. Okay, this is your chance, guys. Anybody that has a question to ask me, go ahead and ask. I may have to put glasses on. Everything on the right here seems to be in two font. Cool party time. Thank you, Pam. How strong is Johnny? As strong as his mouth. From San Diego. Hello, San Diego. How you doing? Hi, Mike. How you doing, guy? Anything on Gussie Alex? Did I know him? No, I didn't know Gussie Alex. And the only thing I can tell you is I went out to his business, and it was I went with some other guys, and it was where the Villa Venice used to be, out in Des Plaines, long time ago. Huh. What year did the Capone house burn down? I have no idea. In Chicago Heights, I have no idea. I'm not really a mob historian. Cedar Rapids, Michigan. Hello. Or is that Cedar? Yeah, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jim. Hey, Anthony. How you doing, guy? I can't see, but can anybody tell me how many people we have in the room? Ricky, I can't tell you anything about Jackie Cerrone. I never met him. 22 people? That's all? Okay. Well, we got 22 people to talk to. I didn't know anything. I didn't know Jackie Cerrone. I never met him. Chain War 23. Okay. You're welcome, Ricky. Top guy here. Ricky. What are you trying to tell me, Ricky? Hey, Chip, how you doing? The highest ranking guy I ever met was Joey Lombardo. I'm from that era, the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s. No, excuse me. The highest ranking guy I ever met was Milwaukee Phil Alderisio. No, I didn't know any Traficante people. And Pam, I'm sorry. I'm doing good. I'm smiling. It's a nice day here today, clear. Most people went to the beach. Did I know Joey Lombardo? Yes, I knew JL very well. Quite well. Old Barn from Ohio. Hi, how you doing, Chip? 27 now. We're growing. Al Pilotto was the guy who shut. I can't get this. Al Pilotto. I may have to put on glasses, folks. Can I explain to me about my book, Chris, and why you wrote it? Chris, the reason my book is Nobody Cares What I Did About It. And the reason I wrote it was really to tell people what things were really like from my perspective and let them know a little bit about me too. In the beginning, it tells a lot about me. So it was kind of like a lot of people told me that if I didn't write a book, that it was not going to be real history. We were going to read things that were inaccurate or not true. One of those people was John Drummond from CBS News. Another one was John Flood, who was a police officer, retired, that lived out in Las Vegas. But the name of the book is Nobody Cares and What I Did About It. And there's a link down below this video that'll tell you how to order an autograph copy, which is the same as if you buy from Amazon. By the way, if you like this, push the like button, please. And we'll see how many people really care about me doing live. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to the old bedtime stories. Let's see. Did you have any contingency plan in case Frank Schweiss discovered you were recording him? Yes, I did. The contingency plan was to see how he reacted first. And if he left the building, I was going to call the FBI and just blow town. If he didn't leave the building and he started something right there, he would have been shot dead, guaranteed. I always had somebody backing me up. I remember you said you were sick of the murders and you were friends with Tony. Can you explain why you didn't inform on Tony? You know, I never did. I didn't know Tony did the things he did until after I wrote the book. Actually, I went off into another world. I lived in my own world. The mob wasn't my life. Doing what I did was my life. So I really never knew that much about what Tony did. I look at him now and he did a lot of things that I really don't approve of at all. If I had known those things then, I probably wouldn't have answered the door, to be honest with you. If that answers your question, Chris. Got your book read. When's your next? I don't know. I'm waiting for I'm still waiting for the cover to come back proofed, and then we can get it up and printed. But I'm working on it. Sorry, folks. And a lot of people ask me that question. Sean Pender, yes. The contingency plan was to run. If necessary, yeah. Trevor and gentlemen, Saturday mornings, ESPN, talking sports collectibles. That's great. It's up on YouTube Creator. Correct words to tag the best of luck to you, sir. Thank you. Both times, do both bedtime stories and live chats. You want me to do them both? Frank did 80 hits. Yes, he murdered at least 80 people that I know of. That's the ones he told me about that I know of. They were all recorded. Every one of them was recorded by the FBI. I'm going to have to wear glasses, folks. Sorry. What was the scariest time in dealing with these gangsters? I didn't have a scariest time. I think the greatest concern I had was one time when I had a problem with Jackie Cerrone's nephew, Al Bianca, and he told me to get over to Barron's Lincoln Mercury or I was going to have a problem. And I just hung up the phone and said I wasn't going anywhere. But Tony showed up and he asked me what the problem was. And I told him. We went over there, and believe me, he didn't give Tony any problems at all. Never had a real problem like that. There should be a book about Frank Schweiss. There should be, but I'm not an authority on him, to be honest with you. I'd have to go digging into a lot of things. Yes, that's a lot. 80 hits is a lot. 80 murders is a lot of murders. Did I ever go to Counselor's Row? Yes, I did. I spent a lot of time. As a matter of fact, I was at Counselor's Row in 1989, I believe, or was it 88? I forgot. Talking to a U.S. attorney. Thanks for the question, Jim. Did you ever think they would, Chris Little, did you ever think they were on you or have that vibe? No, I never, Chris Little, I never thought they were on to me. As a matter of fact, when Frank Schweiss was arrested September 15th, 1988, he had just stopped by my house. I kind of lured him into the trap. And he accepted some money from me. He had it in his top shirt pocket. And the agent that went out and made the arrest, they had a warrant for his arrest and for extortion. And what happened was, even when he was outside, they had his hands up against the car, and the agent was kind of cautious of him. He thought he might get hurt because he didn't want to put his hands on the car first. What happened was they pulled the money out of Frank's pocket, and it was all marked by me. I signed, initialed each bill, each $100 bill that was in his pocket. And so he looked at the money and he said, all this is about, I'll be out in 10 seconds. And then when he got down to the U.S. Attorney's office, they showed him one of the tapes. And he said, I want my lawyer. But no, he really wasn't that. Thank you, Old Barn. I thought I did the right thing. If I didn't, I wouldn't have been doing it. Fred Rohde, Anthony, what are you trying to tell me? Fred Rohde and Pat Marcy's table had more wires than AT&T. I don't doubt it. Frank Schweiss had a daughter in Chicago. Yes, he had two children that I know of. He had a son and a daughter, Nora and James. James lived with his son when he was arrested out in Lombard. I heard Joey Upa wanted to whack Jackie Cerrone, but couldn't get. I don't know what Tony Accardo did or didn't do, what he wanted or didn't want. Have I ever had any dealings in Evergreen Park? Only with one of the police commanders that lived out there, Chicago PD. Red, did you ever eat at Giovanni's on Lawrence and Cumberland? No, I did not. How you doing, Marco? Red, is it true that Big Tuna's house was robbed? Yes, it was. They paid with their lives. It is true, Dave. What are you doing to Ricky? What did you invest in your retirement? Land, lots of land. They don't make any more land. Land keeps going up and up. Real estate has been very good to me. Did any of these mobsters ask to be a part? Did any of these mobsters ask you to be a? No, nobody did. Any involvement. I was known as an earner. I wasn't known as a person of that murdered people. I mean, I took care of my own things on the street where I lived, but I didn't kill people. I don't believe in killing people. And they knew that right off the bat. Marco, did I never meet Accardo? No, sorry, Ricky, I did not meet Tony Accardo. The Fox Lake Massacre. No, I really haven't heard of it, but there's a lot of people out in Fox Lake that know me. Red, you said you initially used to carry a 45. Why'd you stop carrying a gun? No, I still have that 45, and I carried that 45 for many, many years in the small of my back. On the projectionist union, no, I wasn't around very much for that, but I know Frank Schweiss was very interested in the Three Penny Cinema and all those other places that they turned into porn cinemas, the Admiral Theater, whatever. Any ideas who's in charge? Yes, I have an idea, Tom. Tom, there's nobody in charge. It's very disorderly right now. I think the street gangs are in charge. Basically, that's the way it is. How many hits did Joe do? Joe who, Rick? Rick, who are you talking about? How many times did Hansen shoot at Kurt Hansen you're talking about, Chris? I don't know how many shots, but there were multiple shots, usually at least 15 or 16 times. He tried. Thank God he had a snub nose 38, only had a 1-inch barrel on it, and he couldn't shoot worth a damn. Otherwise, he would have killed me. Did I start? Yes, I did, Rick. Sorry, Ricky. They had me start smoking when I was 17. I was in the Marine Corps, and they stopped everybody and asked us if we wanted cigarettes and wanted to stop for a cigarette break while we were marching. And some of the guys raised their hands and some didn't. And our drill instructor said, okay, nobody smokes today. Well, by the time we got back to the barracks, the smokers that were a little bit older, I was only 17 then, but some of the guys got a little bit rough. And they said, next time we want a cigarette break, you better raise your hand. So I did. I went along with the program. I used to take a puff out of a cigarette, kind of like this. They'd bring us a cigarette and light it for us. I mean, we'd hold the cigarette and they'd light it and they'd go. That was it. That's the way I started smoking. Okay, let's see if I can get back to some of this here. No, I didn't know Frank Schweiss's Jim. I didn't know Frank Schweiss's son-in-law, Jim Jager. I didn't know him. I heard about him, a lot about him, but I didn't know him. Did I ever ask Tony to talk to Kurt and tell him to stop? No, that was taken care of by Marshall Cafano. Marshall went and talked to Kurt and told him that if he ever even winked at me, that he was going to kill him. And that took care of that. Marshall was a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you. How many hits did Lombardo do? I really don't know how many times he murdered people. He did do some murders, but I'm not really sure. The last one that I'm totally aware of was Jimmy Couture on Ogden and Hubbard. Free cigarettes at the Sea Rats. Okay. Old Barn Shop. Besides the GTO winding up in Lake Michigan, did you ever have another modified car? Yes, I had many. I like fast cars. Was I around the Chip Anderson? Were you around the gun running? No, I don't believe I was. Red, did you ever have any interactions with Vince Solano? King Kong, I did meet Vince Solano on several occasions over at Grand and Ogden. He would stop and see Joey Lombardo or somebody over there, and so we did. I saw him. He was a fairly nice guy as far as I was concerned. No, I didn't, Jim. I didn't know Michael Magnahucci or his dad. Were any associates or guys you had served in the armed forces, war, respected more with the mob than the streets? I think they respected me because I was in the Corps. Kurt Hansen was. Most of the people that were Marines usually were kind of capable of killing. How did I fall into this? I didn't fall into it. I decided to go into it. Blake, it's just the way it was. Mario Mendez, do you think James fired the fatal shot at JFK? Personally, my personal opinion is he did. Only because of the mercury. Jim Jagger. That was Tony DiDino. He told him, he said, when I asked what he was doing, he says, don't worry about him. He's going to open up a hot dog stand in Alaska. That's because Tony was saying, you should really be paying street tax on that, on the Italian beef stand. And when I mentioned it to Frank, he got upset and says, he'll be opening up a hot dog stand in Alaska. You won't see him anymore. Yeah, that GTO was a great car. Mine wasn't a convertible, though. Hey, Red, what's the hottest female you ever saw around one of those guys? I didn't see that many hot females around those guys. I saw a lot of female escorts from Doris Fisher, Paul Pansco's wife. There was a lot of them. I mean, too many to mention. Chris Little, when you went into the witness protection, did the marshals ever tell you that people were looking for you or had a contract you? Chris, I never went into witness protection. I went through the undercover division of the FBI. And as far as people looking for me, in the very beginning, they told me there was $1 million contract on my head. So Frank was kind of upset about not getting bond. That was the first time he never got bond. And the reason is on one of the videotapes, he told me, he said, I got to make a hit. I'm going out of town. I won't see you for a while. And when they played that in court, the judge did not give him bond. They thought he was a danger or a threat to the community. And that was the first time. He'd been arrested more times than his age by then, but he still was held without bond. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it. I hope somebody likes it. If they don't like it, I'm not going to do any more. I'll tell you that much. I'll just tell bedtime stories. What happened to Tony Spilacio's home in Las Vegas? Pam, I don't know. I really don't. It's there. I think it was sold. Jim. Did I ever know Rocky? No, I never knew Rocky. Really. Sorry, Jim. He's out in Vegas. Chris Little, is it taboo for homosexuals because Kurt's brother was gay? And was that a problem? he really wasn't that active. And Kurt always referred to him as, I wanted a brother and I wound up with two sisters. So did they know about it? I'm sure they knew about it. Thank you, Blake. Blake Gregory. You like this live, huh? Paul Brown from the UK. How you doing, guy? Did you know Lefty Rosenthal? I met Lefty when I lived in Palm Beach. He lived in Boca Raton. And when they came out with Casino, the movie, he called the news and they had a big news conference. And that's the first time I actually talked to Lefty. After that, I used to see him. He sold the house. His kids grew up and everything. And I used to see him down in Miami. He was working a sports bet, offshore sports bet. And he was also working as a consultant for the Hard Rock Casino Cafe. JW, Red, you said a lot of media people came to your porn store. Anyone's famous? Yes. That's your answer. Is John Flood still living? Yes, I believe he is. Does he give interviews? I don't know. You'd have to check him out. He's got a Facebook page. He lives in Las Vegas. And Rudell, sorry you're late. Well, that happens, guy. Some people get early, some people get late, some people don't even go on. What was Bill Rummer, FBI agent? Bill Rummer was a great guy. He was a great guy. Another Marine. I think it's like a brotherhood where if you're in the Corps, you just automatically get along with the people that are. He had the same mindset. Bill Rummer was a great guy. I liked him. Did I ever stop over at Jerry Dell's in the 70s? SG? No, I didn't. I don't even know where it's at. Any information on DeFranzio and Fredio trying to extort? No, I don't have any information about that, Jim. I'm sorry. How close was I to Tony's brothers and wife? I wasn't close to any of them. I never met his brother, Mikey. I saw him a couple times at the Bird's Nest, but I never actually talked to him. And I didn't know his wife. I didn't know his family. We just were buddies, that's all. Semper Fi, Ricky. God bless you. I'm guessing Chicago media people are still alive that came into your store. Yes, you're right. They are. They're still alive. That's why I'm not mentioning any names. The name of my beef stand was Chicago's Old Town Italian Beef at 1345 Wells. If that answers your question. RTL, I assume the New York mob was more powerful than the outfit, but I was thinking recently that the outfit, including, I don't know if they were more powerful or not, RTL. They might have had more power, but they were fighting with each other all the time. I don't think they'd ever gone to war with Chicago because Chicago was more united. And there was nothing for them to take. I mean, they wouldn't have given it up, I'm sure. Hi, Red. You devoted your whole life into that. Yeah, most of it, not all of it. I've had a pretty good run of it from 2007 to now. Actually, 2002 to now. Red, please do more live chats. Okay, Joe, I'll try. Depends on how many people we end up with here. I notice I don't have an answer question about the people still alive. Yeah, well, I did answer it. There are people alive, but I'm not going to mention their names. When I went out to Vegas, did you hang out with Tony out there? No, it was called Stay Away from Tony. I had my own reasons. Thank you, Dave. 54 people. Granola bread on the beef. You mean the beef on granola bread? It was good. I always French dipped everything with peppers. Thank you, Ricky. Were you nervous when you had a phone call from Joey Lombardo from jail? Was I nervous when I had a phone call from Joey Lombardo? Whoa, slow up, guys. From jail. Joey never called me from jail. As a matter of fact, Joey never called me. He had somebody else call me, and then we'd meet up at a phone booth. I would be at one phone booth, he'd be at another phone booth, and we'd talk that way. It was done different. Did I know Albert P? I met him when he was a kid, Albie. I met him when he was a kid. He used to clean up the neighborhood, and I drove into the neighborhood. I've talked about that before. I did a bedtime story on my YouTube channel. Keep up the live chats. I can't give you some idea. Chris Little. Lock Arms. Red, did you know? Who did you know in Fox Lake? Well, it started out, even knowing about Fox Lake, Frank Schweiss was making trips out there. But also there was, I'm trying to remember his name. He owned the Bird's Nest. He owned other place, Burton Place. He owned that too. Billy Kent. Billy Kent was always going out there and building things for people out there. So I kind of got really crazy. Pam, what are you asking? When you're wanting to shoot Ken, when he got sexually weird? No, not really, Pam. I think I got your message. I just put my hand in his chest and say, what do you think you're doing? Get out of here. And he did. Yes, Faces of the Forgotten is a great channel. I like it. Okay, Blake, I'm trying to get you. Do you think the outfit is really gone now? Well, I mean, there's pieces of it left, but it's not organized anymore. John Allen, after reading your book, I'm thinking he must be a pretty fast talker if you have a lot of weird situations. I'm a fast thinker, John. As far as talking, I don't know. I think I can talk fast. Do you remember the 1967 murder of Cook County Sheriff in hometown Illinois? He got shot in his kitchen, and Sam might have had something to do with it. I was in the Marine Corps at that time, and people have questioned me about it, but I really don't know, Kent. I'm sorry. I haven't got the answer for you. Sid Korshak, Jim Jagger. Sim Korshak was very powerful. He had a lot of influence. He tried to stay out of the news as much as he could, though. Faces of the Forgotten. Hey, guy, I love your channel. Several people have asked me about you and said, could you do a thing on Tony Spilotro? And I said, you did. I told him it was on your channel. Want to hear more details about how they dispose of the bodies at the filtration plant? You mean at the sanitary district? Hey, Adam, how you doing? You're on. The way they do it was the back gate would be opened up and or unlocked, and that was in Berwyn instead of Stickney, where the front gate was. And the tanks were all in the back, all the disposal tanks where the sewage would go to. And the body would be brought to the first tank, which has more acid and dumped in there. And when it goes through an auger, and it goes to a next tank and a next tank and the next tank until there's nothing left but what they call Milorganite, which was fertilizer. And they sent that downstate to grow crops. Why did they call Joey Lombardo the clown? Lumpy. Well, they called him Lumpy because he liked to put lumps on your head. They called him the clown because he was funny. He was generally funny. He could always find a joke in something. Adam, you got people saying hi to you. Say hi back to them. You didn't do, okay, Faces of the Forgotten. You didn't do Tony Spilaccio yet, but it's in the plans. Very good, Faces of the Forgotten. I'm sure people will watch it. A lot of people will ask me about it. How old am I in minutes? I'm sorry, Colleen, I can't tell you. Thank you, Adam. Hit the like button if you folks enjoy this. Adam's encouraging you to. Adam Flowers, great guy. He's a showman and a half, let me tell you. Did I know Gus Alex? I answered it earlier. No, I did not. Yes, I've been tested for my IQ 3 times in my life. And it is high. At first, they didn't want to tell me what it was. The FBI told me what it was. Faces Forgotten. Thank you, Red. I go live in an hour, and I will tell everybody on my channel. Sounds creepy. Okay. Do I ever go to the Elden there? No, I never did. I never went there then, and years ago, and I don't go there now. I know some people that go there. They're members. A few keywords in YouTube will help you tag your YouTube logarithm. Yes, that's what people. Adam's trying to help me with it. He's trying to teach me. Do I have any photos with you and Tony? Tony actually came to my house in the evening, and we never posed for photos together because nobody was taking photos, and I don't think Tony wanted any, to be honest with you. Sorry. Can I explain what happened real quick about Hanson's murdered wife and what they did with her body? I assume you're talking about Beverly Hanson. Within 2 days, she was waked at the Two's funeral home on the south side, and within 2 days, she was cremated. And there was no autopsy taken, nothing done. It was very shabby, and that's what brought me back into the whole mess where I got involved with ATF agents and did what I did. Did Marshall Cofano kill Bugsy Siegel? I don't know. If he did, he never told me. Sorry, Mario. Sean Pender, what is the other south suburb that was mobbed up? All of them that I know of. I mean, the south side, it just was. Red, did you have any siblings? Yes, I had a sister. She passed away in 2002. 2002 was a very bad year for me. And a lot of people go. Was I able, Matt Larson? Yes, but it was difficult. It was very difficult. You calculated your minutes. Okay. Gus Russo said that Tony Accardo was his front boss. Gus Russo might have. I don't know. Russo was really the boss. So, who knows? He's an interesting character. I only caught one of his shows, and that was enough for me. Were I involved with any union stuff? No, I wasn't involved with any union stuff, but I knew people that were. Jimmy Kozo, basically, and some other people. Jason K, how you doing, buddy? Any information on the Seaford murder? You know, they had a big easel in American Bonding, and they were trying to figure out what they did with skim money because they had to account for IRS for it. And Danny Seaford was killed. He was only 29 years old. And I really had other things on my mind. But later on, I got in touch with Nick Seaford, and I also talked to Joey. And I explained to them that if it hadn't been for Joey Lombardo, their lives would not have been spared. They really would. They would have been killed, no doubt about it. No witnesses would have been left by Schweiss and the other people that were involved. So Ryan Brown. So was Joey Hansen, who Frank talked about, and related to Kurt and Kent? Ryan, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't understand the question. It's a little impossible to see there. Did man say anything to you when I was in the basement? No, he never said one word to me, and I'm very happy for that. He said enough things that I didn't want to hear. Thank you, Chris. Good question. Did an episode of Eugene Pappas and Frank showing? Yes, I saw that, Faces of Forgotten. It was really good. Very good. I enjoyed it. It's good that you keep track of the history. It very is. I like it. Did I ever meet or see Sinatra? No, I did not. Sorry, Tom. Any contact with Culver stories about Jackie Cerrone? None at all. None at all. I heard people talk about him, but that's just the way it was. Was I photographed with any Chicago mobsters? No, not one. There are no photographs of me available, no surveillance photographs of me available. You won't find me in school books, like going to high school or any other places. There are no photographs of me available anywhere except on my driver's license and my passport. Marco, thank you for joining us, and you have a good day. God bless you. Have a great evening. Do you remember Louis' house in Oak Lawn? No, not in Oak Lawn. He didn't have a house in Oak Lawn that I know of. Red, if Eagle has 12, what's your opinion on CPD Detective Fred Pacini? I don't know. I got along with Freddie. Freddie was a nice guy. I sold him 44 Magnum, Smith & Wesson, Model 29. Who was the highest ranking mobster that I ever met? I would say that had to be Milwaukee Phil. He was the highest ranking. At the time, he was an intern boss in between people. Red, Italian restaurants still around that you used to go to? No, there are not any Italian restaurants that I used to go to left around. My favorite one was Mio's Norwood House. That was probably the best one I ever went to or enjoyed. I also went to a lot of places, but that was the best one. The Hacienda del Sol was the Mexican restaurant that I went to downtown, and that was a fine restaurant too. Had a lot of fun there. Chip Anderson. Hold on a second. I need glasses for you, Chip. Chip, the defense attorneys were extremely disgusting that I ran into. Probably the worst one was Leonard Goodman, but they were all disgusting. Some of the lawyers I knew that worked for me, they were pretty good guys. What about my book? I still have my yearbook, and I took that with me. It was packed in my books, and nobody even noticed it. Did you like Milwaukee Phil, and how many times did you meet? Yeah, I like Phil. He was an easygoing guy. He had a gravelly voice, but he was okay. Red, what do you think of kids working at your age, like say 12? Worked at Woolworth, didn't you? I started working when I was very young, and I don't know. It's up to the family really to decide. I think kids should. There's kids I know out there today that are 18, 19 years old. It's 16, 17, 18 that they don't work. You know, they just they do what they do. Ryan Brown. Sorry, Red, to be confusing. I have another question. Was Ken married? Yes, he was married. And how did his wife find out he was gay? Why did she say, what did she say to him? She could have gone to the cops about the triple murder. Yeah, she could have. She actually found out because she came home from Las Vegas with Sally, and she caught him in bed with the barn manager and took some compromising photos, sexual in content. And she gave them to Ed Neefield, who was chief of detectives at Markham. And Ed had them developed, and she filed for divorce. And she carried those, her attorney and her, carried those into the courthouse, the photos. And when they did, anytime Hansen objected to anything, Art O'Donnell was his attorney at the time. And anytime he objected to anything, they would hold up the photos and say, Your Honor, we'd like to admit, and he would run out of the courtroom. I thought that was kind of funny, but it's true. Did Jack Strong get to his power? It seems like I don't know, Tom. I really don't. El Menendez, the Chicago mob killed Darn Arnold. I don't know if the Chicago mob did it. I assume it's the mob because it was Frank Schweiss and Wayne Bach that actually did it. They murdered Darn Arnold. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Did I know Rick Halpern? No, I didn't know Rick Halpern, and he was not that sharp of an attorney. He really wasn't. Sorry, Dave. JW, no, I can't name any famous people that came into my store that are dead. Nor do I think I want them, to be honest with you. You have an original, Carl, you have an original Polaroid of Frank Rosenthal and Joey Hansen sitting next to each other at a party. I wouldn't doubt it. He got along with Joey Hansen. I was told that at that time, Joey Hansen was out in Phoenix. And later on, I find out that newspaper clippings and everything show him down in San Diego. Did Joey Aiuppa conspire to whack Sam Giancana and Johnny Roselli in connection to the Mexican casinos? Paulo, I really don't know. I mean, I have my own, that's a whole nother story on why it was happened. And, he didn't want to share it, that's for sure. Tom Yanks, Phil did not really laugh. He wasn't like Lombardo. He was more serious about everything. Jim, if Lombardo and Schweiss fought, who would win? Schweiss. Schweiss would have beat him to death. Did Cerrone? Jack Cerrone was vicious. You had no doubt he was bad and was the scariest one, I thought. Jackie Cerrone, no. I think Frank Schweiss was the scariest man I ever met. Most dangerous, that's for sure. V-Glass, I think after Ricardo died, DeFrancio took over, and he never gave it up until he passed away. Is there one porn shop in Stone Park on Manheim Road? Any connection, Red? I didn't know it was there in Stone Park. I don't know what's going on there in Chicago right now. Thank you, El Mendez. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. How can you order an autographed copy of my book? You can order autographed copy of my book by typing in anywhere on Google, Red, WRED, WEMETTE.com, and it'll take you to the page. But right below this, there should be, and just about any of my videos, there's a place where there's a link to it, where it'll tell you, and you can hit the link and just go right to it. I'm trying to catch up with some of you people. Thank you, El Mendez. Chris Little, did you like Joey the Clown? And would you talk about that video on the picture was famous, was hilarious, and how he got his name? You know, he got his name a long time ago because he was a clown ever since he was a kid. I liked him. Yes, I genuinely liked Joey. He never, he wasn't threatening in any way whatsoever. Is Stone Park? I don't know. You guys, Frank scarier than Chucky Nicoletti? Yeah, Frank was a lot scarier, but they were both stone killers. But you got to remember something. Phil was more dangerous, Milwaukee Phil. And he brought up Tony, and he brought up Schweiss. Schweiss was his bodyguard, lived right next door to him in North Riverside. They were tough people. Did I know anything about the dirty cop, Anthony Doyle? Only what I saw in Family Secrets. I was there for Family Secrets. Joe Clark, thank you. You're looking forward to reading my book. You might find it interesting. We got 66 people. Did all 66 subscribe to my live stream? Come on, guys. Anything you would like to change about your former life? Or would you do it all over again the same way? No, Polo, if I had to do it all over again, I'd probably get married and have a dozen kids and just live a different kind of life. But you can't change the past. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. I'm glad you subscribed. Jason, thank you. Am I happily retired? I've been happy most of my life, guy. I don't think anybody ever saw me with a unhappy look on my face unless I was doing something unnecessarily not nice. There were people that upset me. What was Fifi like? Very strange. Very strange. and quick to tell people what to do. Sorry, Ricky. I don't have any more information than that. I didn't know him that well. I only saw him a couple times out on the south side with Kurt Hansen. Jim, did I ever watch the TV show Mob Wives? I did, and I made a comment on a couple blogs at the time. I really didn't like Nora, and Nora didn't like me either. After all, that was her father that I put away, and she adored her father. So there were some real problems with that. I didn't like the show, though, at all. I thought it was all scripted. It's got a long story. There's a backstory to that I don't want to go into right now, but it's a long story. There go the glasses again. Might as well just keep them on. Kent, were there any mobsters who were generally good-hearted people that you knew? Generally good-hearted people, I would say that Joey Lombardo was generally a good-hearted person. Thank you for subscribing, guys. I really appreciate it. Bob Dog, 2010. Hey, guy, how you doing? Good afternoon to you. Did Fifi try to kill Tony because he thought he robbed his house and Lefty saved him? I never heard anything about that, but then again, there's a lot of things I didn't hear. Red, who's ever upset me the most? I would say Kurt Hansen. He upset me the most. I mean, getting shot at is not easy. Am I a Red Sox or a White Sox fan? Actually, I'm a Cubs fan and a Sox fan. In 1959, I was at Sox Park over on Comiskey Park, and I had a Ted Williams glove. I was only 10 years old, but I played ball, and I actually got my glove signed by Ted Williams. And as far as Wrigley Field went, it was a lot more. I don't know. It's a long thing between the Cubs and the Sox. Ricky, what's in the book Casino? Ever meet Joe Nicole? Tom? No, I never met Joe Ferriol. Did I ever meet Sammy DeBull? Sorry, Pam. No, I didn't. Jason K, if you guys got to be sure that to like, thank you for Jason. I appreciate it. We'll see. We'll see if I'm going to do another one. We'll see how many people are going to stay with us. You got to jump off. Yeah. Well, it's probably, it's the weekend and you probably want to have dinner with your family. I would imagine by now. It's close to 5 o'clock. And the Casino book about Fifi trying to kill Tony. Oh, that's where you read it. Okay. I don't know. A lot of people write a lot of things. They're not exactly, you'll be buying Chris Little. You'll be buying my book. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. I hope you like it, guy. J-Babe. How was Vietnam one tour? J-Babe, I do not talk about Vietnam. That's one thing I won't talk about. Sorry, guy. It's just something I don't talk about, period. Jerry, who sounded like a major asshole? Thank you, John. I'm glad you liked the book. No, Tony and I never went cruising for chicks. But we talk about his adventures and conquests and other things I won't talk about. What can you tell us about The bomb? I can tell you Frank Schweiss went out to take care of Fradiano, and Fradiano read to the feds. I think the bomb was killed by Fradiano, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you can buy my book on Amazon, Pablo. Or Paulo. Sorry, Paulo. Jerry, Kurt Hansen, like an unpleasant dude, very unpleasant to be around. Well, those kind of people you just don't want to be around. Hey, Kissy Cat, how you doing? I'm trying to have a nice Saturday. What country, in your opinion, made the best porn? V-Glass, I think we did in the United States back in the day. I don't know about now. J-Bay, what do you think Collada knew Lefty wasn't? No, he did not. That's a fact. He did not know he was an informant. Frank Collada never knew about it. He may have towards the end of his life. Did I ever hang out in Tinley Park? Yes, I did. I did hang out in Tinley Park. Kurt Hansen, I hung out there. I hung out there with Ken Hansen also. We went to Sally's, a restaurant out there. And we also went to a place on 148th Street, I believe. It's like, I forget what they call that area. Something Park. Why did Frank kill Eugenia Pappas? Mike Clark, Frank killed Eugenia Pappas because she asked too many questions about what he did, and he talked about Marilyn Monroe with her. And Milwaukee Phil said she had to go. He was his boss at the time. A very sad thing. Did the outfit ever get involved in blue boxes, change others? Long distance. I don't really know, Kissy Cat. Sorry. I would like to make a suggestion, make a topic that can tell the best stories and questions, and you will get more people to keep up the good work. Okay, thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. Anthony Doyle, the dirty cop. Anything? Only what I saw in court. Dave Lyson. 65 people. That's all we have, huh? Well. That's the best I can do. It is a Saturday. Got to take that into consideration. I didn't know Turk Terrell. Unfortunately, Frank's gone. Frank Collada, but he knew him. Were you a Blackhawks and Bulls fan? I was a Blackhawks fan. I love the Chicago Blackhawks. He's still there with police officers, friends of mine. And there was a lot of fighting in the stands. I never went to a Bulls game, and I really wasn't into basketballs. Did I ever make any profit, JW? Did you ever make any profit of horse racing fixing back in the day? If I did, it was not because I fixed the race. It was because somebody else did, and they told me to bet on it. Red, have you? Oh, Barn Shop. Red, have you ever been to Homer Glen? I don't know where it's at. I'm sorry. Any information on Phil Koza's indictment of 2002 over illegal bingo games? Yeah, that bingo hall was, he really let his son use it, or mostly his Philly Koza, and also Frank Amato. Phil Amato's, that would have been his cousin, Phil Amato's son. That's the answer, Jim Jager. Opinion on DP. My opinion on the DB Cooper case is it will never be solved. It'll be unsolved forever. It's cold way too long. Bob, Talk 210. Did the Chicago outfit have a strong relationship with the New Orleans? Yes, family. Yes, they had a very strong relationship with it. They had a strong relationship with Tampa also. They had a strong relationship with just about everybody west of the Mississippi. Bruce City. What's up, Red? How was your day? Well, it's been going pretty good. Thank you, Rick, for telling me there's 68 people in here now. Not bad for an hour show. 68 people, huh? I appreciate it, guy. Look at that. I went a whole hour with lighting a cigarette. How much do I smoke a day? About a half a pack of cigarettes. Sometimes I smoke more when I'm on the show than anything else. Wow, you got a hard name. DJR005. What were the FBI U.S. Marshals like to deal with? On an individual basis, I never got along with any U.S. Marshals. On an individual basis, they were all different. So some I got along with, some were very difficult to deal with, and some were casual, easygoing, logical. It just depended on the individual. Any agent, especially ATF guys. I mean, there were some guys that were really great, and then there were some that weren't so great. Jerry. Okay. Did Devon bankroll? I don't really know who bankrolled Deep Throat. I really don't. But I'll tell you what, they made money off it. No, I never did know Don Angelini. As a matter of fact, I had Don Angelini mixed up with Lefty Rosenthal for The Wizard of Oz. Because I thought, in my own mind, I thought that The Wizard of Oz was actually Lefty Rosenthal. Did you unform on Joey the Clown? No, I did not. Chris, I'm sorry. Hey, Red, do you know much about Angelo? No, I really don't. I didn't know him. I know people that knew him and said that he spent the Las Vegas Skim on the Italian American Club to build it. Did I ever see Sam Giancana? No, I saw pictures of him dead, but that was about it. Sorry, Jason, or Rick. I'm sorry. Is there a Dallas family, Jason? I don't know if there is. I know there's affiliations in Dallas, or there was. I don't know what's there now. Jesus Galvin, I'm from Chicago and read Bill Romer's books. Was Tony Accardo. I like Bill's first book. I didn't like the rest of them. The first of them were really good. Hey, Carmela, how you doing? No, I don't believe the Warren report on the Kennedy assassination. I never did. I thought it was rigged. How do you take a chief justice? I mean, just look at the facts on it, guy. Jerry McCluskey. Red, does the population of Chicago generally lean liberal? I think so. I think so. It's always been that way. Yes, I knew Joe Jr., Jim Jagger. As a matter of fact, he wound up with one of my Lincolns. Nice guy, very nice guy. Didn't do any heavy work or anything like that. Crystal Deep Throat was 100% financed by the mom. By Sonny Francis. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. Did I know Frank Calabrese Sr.? No, I never met him. I didn't even know that crew was even there. I know one thing. We used to go down there on Taylor Street, and everybody there walked lightly around the people I was around. When I was down there with Lombardo or Schweiss or somebody like that from Grand and Ogden, those guys really, they didn't mess around with the Grand and Ogden crew. I don't know why, but Joe was street boss at the time. Joe Clark, it's been quiet tonight. Red, we would love to hear more of you talk about your life and your memories. Please do more live chats. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Do you still hunt, Red? Yes, Ricky, I still do. I deer hunt. I love to hunt. I use a Remington Model 700 270 caliber, and it's set for about 500 meters, the scope on it. I like to hunt deer. A lot of people down here hunt hogs. I don't. I don't like them. I don't really harvest what I eat. Yes, I do remember when Kent. I remember when he got blown up at 294 in Ogden. Thank you, Dave, for the count. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guy. Any fishing, Red? More than you can even talk about, Sean. I love to fish. I like redfish out in the ocean. Before that, it was trout. I used to go up in Wisconsin, and sometimes up to Minnesota. I go fishing. I enjoyed it. Kiss Cat, was dating the ex-girlfriend of a mobster's allowed? No, it was not allowed. You didn't date them. You treated them with respect and stayed 10 feet away. What is a street boss? Back up here. What is a street boss? Like a cardo? Basically, a street boss is somebody that settles disputes on the street before they get into any other things. Before it gets taken in higher up. It's a level of, and unless somebody wants to sit down, or if the boss is out of town, something like that, they can take care. Faces of Forgotten. I'm going to go up to the VA cemetery and look for Kurt Hansen's grave for an episode. Can I find him? Yes. I don't know the number, but there is a number. There's a brook there, and there's a number. I think I emailed you with the picture of his death certificate. Best food. What do I hunt, Red? Deer. I love venison. Red, I have a 58 oak barn with 1 million deer on it in southern Iowa. 1 million deer? That's a lot of deer on 50 acres. Thank you. And lots of turkey, too, huh? That number 5 shot. How many outfit members had day jobs? In my day, they all had day jobs. Sean Pender. I fish every summer in another Indian name. Minnequa, Wisconsin. Muskies. You like those muskies, huh? They're a fighting fish. No, I didn't know V-Glass. I did not know Jerry Davino. And if he worked with Caesar, um, what is a made man? That's when everybody else, a made man, SG, is when somebody, a group of other people decide that this man is worthy of induction into taking an oath of being loyal to their group of people. And it takes more than one guy to make that decision. It takes several people. You just don't point at somebody and say, "Okay, you're made." It's like being raised in a religious or a military thing. Uh, people decide. You get a recommendation, and several other people decide. That's how it is. On the hunt for Italian beef. Yeah, we all are, Chris. Or Chip, excuse me. Bobby Dog, Johnny Russo invented fishing. No, I can't believe it. I'm sorry. I can't. Nice guy, Louie. Hey, Red. How you doing? Did you get along well? Did I get along with Tony Splasher? Yes, I got along very well with him. I didn't see any bad sides to him. It's just the way it was. Paper jobs because their income wasn't on paper. I claimed on my income tax miscellaneous income and miscellaneous payouts, and I never had to report where it's from. That's why I always wondered why people didn't make out their income tax returns that way. I mean, if you paid the money on it, you wouldn't be going to jail. Jerry, okay, Jerry McCluskey. Johnny Rosso did Debbie before she did Dallas. Well, that's about as accurate as his Marilyn Monroe story. When he was 16, he took his virginity, or she took his virginity. So you have to prove you can break your eggs to be a made man. I don't know exactly what you have to prove, but you have to prove a lot of things. You have to be pretty versatile to be made. You have to be able to earn. You have to be able to hurt people, kill people, a lot of things. Thank you, Old Barn Shop. I appreciate it. Chip, if I'm in the Keys, snapping from the pier, yeah. Marina Wall. I've been down there. Yeah, Bruce City, I like to Johnny Russo. Johnny Russo really gets bashed a lot, but then again, he should keep his mouth shut. Read the Los Angeles Farm Crime, and he had a crew of Gambino family. I don't really know much about LA or San Francisco or that sort of thing. I knew about LA. I was told that if I had any problems when I was in LA, to go see Joey Hansen or give him a call, and he would take care of it. Anyway, folks, I had a great time with you, and please like and subscribe if you like this sort of thing. Like and subscribe to my channel. Maybe watch some of my other videos. There's 120 of them out there to watch, my bedtime stories. And if you're interested in buying my book, if one of you folks, 63 of you, 68 of you, whatever, haven't bought it already, it's available autographed to you at redwemette.com. redwemette.com. And it's autographed. You can also buy it on Amazon for the same price, not autographed. So have a great weekend, and God bless you, folks. Thank you for stopping by.